Even when you have great speech content, you still need to deliver that content in a clear, professional, and powerful way if you want to get your message across to the audience. In this video series, we've been analyzing Dan Pink's TED Talk, The Puzzle of Motivation. And if you watch closely, you can learn a lot from the way he delivers his talk. So get ready to learn 3 simple techniques that you can apply to any presentation. Hi everyone, Matt Jones here, helping you give presentations that get people on board. And pro tip number 1 is one face, one space. If you're talking about different people, different products, different companies, different ideas, different whatever, use a separate space on the stage to talk about each one. Notice how Dan moves to one side of the stage to talk about Group A. Then he moves to the other side of the stage to talk about Group B. And then finally he returns to the center to give his own commentary.
To one group, he said, I'm going to time you to establish norms, averages, for how long it typically takes someone to solve this sort of problem. To the second group, he offered rewards. If you're the fastest of everyone we're testing here today, you get $20. Okay, now this is several years ago, adjusted for inflation. It's a decent sum of money for a few minutes of work. Okay, it's a nice motivator.
Once you get the hang of this, you can shrink your movements and still achieve the same effect, like this.
Intrinsic motivators versus extrinsic motivators. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose versus carrots and sticks. And who wins?
Pro tip number 2, mind your orientation. Imagine you're speaking to a group of young children and you say, raise your right hand. Chances are they'll raise their left. Why? Because from their perspective, the hand you just raised is on the left side. And with adults, it's really no different. I mean, sure, they may be better at following verbal cues, even though the visual cues don't match. But of course, they would still much rather your visuals be from their perspective, not yours. So let's say, for example, you want to show progression along a timeline. You have to start that timeline on your right side and progress to your left to make it look natural for the audience. Watch how Dan does this.
In America, law is a professional degree. You get your university degree, then you go on to law school. And when I got to law school, I didn't do very well.
Notice how he does this again when representing if, then, cause, and effect.
These contingent motivators. If you do this, then you get that. If you do this, then you get that.
And pro tip number 3, highlight the twists. There are several moments when Dan draws our attention to surprise findings and counterintuitive insights. Notice how he does that by using the power of pauses.
It took them, on average, 3.5 minutes longer.
Each twist has a setup and a punchline. For the setup, Dan maintains a fairly high volume while slowing down the speech rate with semi-pauses, kind of like extra commas in a sentence. And then he'll take an extended pause, like a ... before delivering the punchline.
People offered the medium level of rewards, did no better than people offered the small rewards. But this time, people offered the highest rewards. They did worst of all. This is one of the most robust findings in social science, and also one of the most ignored.
And here's another technique that Dan uses to highlight a twist. Watch this.
If you want people to perform better, you reward them, right? Bonuses, commissions, their own reality show, incentivize them. That's how business works, but that's not happening here.
Did you notice the tonal shift there? After quite an impressive rant, he then dropped to a calm, soft observation.
That's how business works, but that's not happening here.
The key here is to make a change. Break the pattern in your delivery right at the moment you want to hit your audience with an important twist. So, next time you deliver a speech, remember these 3 pro tips. One face, one space. Mind your orientation and highlight the twists. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.